Right, 5 minutes and we go.
Yeah, I agree. It's 8:30 already.
Yep. You got that, Phil?
Are we going?
In 5 minutes.
5 minutes and then we go.
Okay. Bloody Alan. Got a bloody surprise for you guys and everything.
Well, Alan will have to
Sort himself out.
fucking sort himself out.
Hey, Al.
Here he is.
Or not.
Yep.
Or not.
There we
Oh,
go.
he is.
Hello.
The bus was a bit late. I had to get some
We
tea.
were starting to wonder.
No. Supposed to be at 8 o'clock in buses. Anyway. Yeah.
If it went below 5 miles an hour, Al, was it going to explode?
I think it would have done, yes.
Okay.
The fact it turned up 15 minutes
Yeah.
late, I don't know why. But anyway, I'm here now. Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the Conquistabores. Tonight is a very special celebration of 10 years of the Conquistabores. In order to celebrate, the Conquistabores will be looking at WrestleMania X8, 10 years on from the first episode. Do you see how that works? I thought it was quite clever. Coming down to the ring with the birthday balloons tonight, Hollywood Ewan Taylor. The big red, white and blue machine, Phil Doyle. Big Daddy Cool, Cameron Phillips. And Hot Sauce, Geordie Allen Milburn. Only tonight on The Conquistadors.
Before we get going, you boys want your birthday treat?
Well, we need to get Al on the thing first.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'll
is
watch
there
the stream.
Oh, well, we're watching something, so yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your birthday treat, boys?
Yes.
Go on then.
Right, fulfilling the edit. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ho! Hey, folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan from the golden age of wrestling. But I hope you all know that being wrestling, folks. Anyway, I've got a special message for the Conquistadores. That's Cam, Ewan, Phil, and of course, Hot Sauce Gordon Al. So everybody, you might want to sit down because you know Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm going to have to give it to you straight. It seems like I have one thing I want to say to the Conquistadores, and that's ho! And congratulations on 10 years of the podcast. All right, congratulations. Way to go. I can really realize how hard it is to have a podcast, especially for 10 years. But also I want to say, hey, thanks for being wrestling fans, especially back in the golden age. That was the golden age of wrestling. Hogan, Macho Man, Jake the Snake, Andre the Giant, Junkyard Dog. You can still name 10 guys without thinking about it. Still a good show, but nothing like the old days, that's for sure. That's when I'd be out there swinging that 2x4, doing what Hacksaw does best. Beat people up, tough guy. Ho! Anyway, I want to say also, I think this is the first time I've ever been anybody's spirit animal for a podcast. Sounds pretty good. All right, guys, congratulations on 10 years of the podcast. Thanks for being a wrestling fan. Thanks big time for being a Hacksaw fan. And this host for the Conquistadores. Ho! On another 10 years of the podcast. Go get them, tough guys.
That was incredible.
Happy birthday, boys.
Oh, that was very good. Very good.
That was 7 stars. I'm sorry. I'm doing a Meltzer.
I will send you a copy of the file for your own personal use.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, that is
Thanks,
amazing.
Phil. That is brilliant.
Is my new name Gordon Al from now on, by the way?
Yes.
I spelt it like Geordie Al, but I realised because he's like from North America, he must have thought it was Gordy because like there's
Yeah,
loads of
Gordie
hockey players
Howe.
called that. So he did that, but it's like, that'll do me.
Well, I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast himself and listen to you and call him a retard many, many times.
I didn't put that in the cameo notes. There you go. Continues the podcast, but we out of his own free will, Doug and Dick gave us a message.
Yes.
Of course. That was
touched completely off his own bat, and he said, "Oh, but bless him, God love him."
I have a question.
What a dude!
Do you think it just keeps a 2x4 on standby?
Obviously,
but he's got piles of them.
He put a good effort into that. I like that. Some of these.
Oh, that was amazing.
Some of these messages, like there's one where Kevin Nash is doing a message to someone. He's like in the bath or something, man. He's like, he's not even.
Maybe they asked for that. Maybe they specified it. You don't know.
That's a premium. If that's me.
Al, imagine recording shit in a bath. I mean, for fuck's sake.
That was audio only, okay? No visuals.
Oh, that is beautiful. That's made my day. Genuinely, that's made my day. Wow. Yes, 10 years since we started doing this.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
As Maxwell said, because he's obviously been a follower of the show the whole time.
Exactly. He knew that without being told.
I hope the God he just watches the modern episodes, listens to them. I can hear him being crushed by Ewan's gave him reports on him.
I think we still nominate him as our spirit animal, as he says.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I made sure to specify that in the show.
He's the dude. And as we say, every single time Hacksaw appears on all those old shows, he gets like the crowd well involved in his matches just by all he has to do is say ho and raise a his 2x4, and the crowd are away. So
crowd are away. That's how it works. So Hacksaw rolls.
Yeah, Phil, that was amazing.
I've been sat on that incredible. So long, honestly.
Wow.
That's the end of that's the podcast, folks.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to follow that.
10 years, thanks, Scott. Yeah, right, yep. I say, as Facebook keeps reminding me that it's 10 years ago, it keeps coming up with all the little notes that me and Phil were sending each other going, we should do a wrestling podcast. That'd be really cool. And then recording it in April 2014. So we're a little bit late.
We missed it a little bit.
The official. But doesn't matter. It's fine.
Hacksaw says 10 years.
Exactly.
We'll go on Hacksaw time.
Do you want to get him to record a 20-year one because he mightn't be here by then? Do you want him to just get one just in case?
Just do it now. Just go on the safe side. No, because we'll have like AI cameo by then. It'll be fine.
Possibly.
We could finally get Cameron his all wishes Lex Luger singing some kind of Ranger song or whatever.
Maybe Sonny will be released from prison by then.
No. Probably not. No.
He's never getting out of prison, folks. There for life.
Oh, that was great. Anyway, we probably better knock on, eh?
I don't even know how we're even expected to top.
Shall I detail my pick for the show this week and the reasoning behind it, which might become obvious?
Why did you pick WrestleMania 18?
Well, Ewan Taylor, I picked WrestleMania 18 because 10 years ago we discussed WrestleMania 8 on the very first episode of the podcast. So in my, all the chair shots I've taken to the head, my concussion-riddled mind had thought that, 10 years to the show, 10 years on for WrestleMania 8 is WrestleMania 18. I know how math works. Let's do that for the show.
And as Lita's entrance theme says, it just feels right.
It just feels right. So that's why I picked WrestleMania 18. 10 years on from WrestleMania 8. 10 years of time has passed since back then. So WrestleMania 18, which apparently is a decent show. People seem to like it I'm not sure why, but we'll probably get to that at some point.
I was going into the show completely blind because I have never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
This was all new to me. I will say this: people think that the whole getting musicians on to play songs thing is a recent invention. No, they were doing it back in WrestleMania 18.
No. My first note is about the music, so we'll come to it shortly.
So we're going back to the space year of March 17th, 2002 in Toronto in the Sky Dome for WrestleMania 18.
And now, WrestleMania, the showcase of the immortals.
as you said, like I don't think I watched WrestleMania 17 at the time, but I fell off afterwards once the WCW buyout came through and the Invasion angle started. Also, I feel like I think I moved out. I kind of lost my regular internet connection, so I kind of lost track of the wrestling websites I would follow. There was a good one on IGN. I can't remember what it was called now, but that was the one I kind of remember following. The kind of last kind of bit of news I remember really seeing was about Triple H doing his quad in that tag match with Austin, Benoit, and Jericho. So that was probably the last time I followed wrestling properly for a good few years. So I had no clue about this WrestleMania or what happened in it. So again, it was all new to me.
That was that would have been like the summer of 2001 with the 2-man power trip.
It was before King of the Ring, wasn't it? Because it was just Austin in a triple threat match at King of the Ring.
Yep.
Oh, yes, so it was. I was trying to remember how long it took Triple H to come back, and it was about 8-9 months, wasn't it? Because he's back at the Rumble in 2020. He back at
Rumble and won it.
But to 2000, to Hennessey's in the main event tonight. That's what makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm gonna steal a gimmick from Al. Did anyone watch the dark match?
Well, of course I did, Ewan.
Of course you did, Al, because I did as well.
Who was the dark match, Ewan? Because I did not.
So it was a 6-man tag match with a special guest referee, because what's better than one gimmick, two?
Mm-hmm.
The team of Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty, and Albert took on the team of Test, Lance Storm, and Mr. Perfect.
What a sad way to end your WrestleMania record.
Well,
it's a wild combination of people right there, isn't it?
Oh, and the guest referee is Jacqueline.
Because why not?
Exactly. So
that is sense the world.
That is a tremendous Fire Pro random match if I ever saw one.
Yeah, like how did they get to that group of people? Obviously, you had Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty being together because, too cool.
But Albert kind of took Grandmaster Sexy's place as the hip hop hippo. Try and say that 3 times fast.
Just before Albert leaves, goes to Japan and is like really great as Lord Tensai. No,
yes, Lord Tensai. Before he goes off to, I think it's All Japan he ends up in.
Yeah. He just has some great matches over there and then comes back and it's like, oh no. It just goes terrible again.
He's got the great A-Train gimmick to live first, but yes.
Oh, that's true.
God.
It's a wild combination of folks.
Yes, it's an eclectic mix. This show has got a lot of nostalgia dumps for me because, let's start off with the most important thing. The world is correct because Howard Finkel is the ring announcer.
What was his last WrestleMania when he was like the regular ring announcer?
Could be this one, yeah. I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
I think 20.
Because, Lillian Garcia started to do more and more, didn't she?
Yeah.
There was a time where they would swap, would it not, when it was like the Raw and SmackDown? So, he would do
the
one.
And it's just artists, isn't it? So I imagine they would have one for the...
Was Lillian not SmackDown and Finkel was Raw? Or am I remembering that wrong?
I think Finkel was Raw, you're right, and Tony Chimmel was SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, Chimmel, of course.
Because they had a storyline at one point where Lillian Garcia kicked Howard Finkel out or something with Trish Stratus involved. I think it was 2003, possibly. There were maybe 2 or 3. There was some silly storyline with that.
When you're at the showcase of the Immortals, what's the first thing you think of? Do you think of a song? Do you think of a live musical performance? Because I didn't.
Well, obviously, I thought they said, come on, Fink started introducing the band. And I was like, oh, they're going to sing the national anthem because it's the start of WrestleMania.
Yeah, no.
And they did not sing the national anthem at all. They sang some song. And I was like, it was straight. In my head, it was straight through. In Mad Max Fury Road when Immortal Joe's like, mediocre. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, I wanted them to do the national anthem. That would have been brilliant.
That would have been interesting. The one note I have of this is advertising an album called WWF Forcible Entry has a different meaning in 2024.
So many connotations to that.
That wasn't good.
The band Saliva.
There's a lot of this show though that this show, when you say 2002, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago to me.
Yes.
Obviously it's like 22 years and that's a while. But there's so much stuff on this show that you can look back and go, they wouldn't do that now.
No, that would not end well.
Yes, a Molly Holly moment we get later on in the show is probably something they wouldn't do now, but we'll get to that later on.
Yeah, exactly. Can I just finish the Howard Finkel bit?
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Because I've just done some on-the-spot research here, and I've just got Finkel turned heel on an August 2002 episode of Raw.
Stop. What?
Finkel turned heel on an August 2002 episode of Raw.
Awful feud it was. Yes, awful.
This sounds awful, and I've never seen it.
And began a brief feud with Raw ring announcer Lillian Garcia over the lead spot before both were attacked by 3-minute warning. The following week, Garcia defeated Finkel.
What the? Why are 3-minute warning involved?
I guess they always were around about that time.
But
Eric Bischoff would come on and go, obviously you guys weren't watching. Eric Bischoff would come on and go, well, you can fuck off now. And they'd go, no, we're not. And then Eric Bischoff would go, got 3 minutes for you. And then after 3 minutes, 3-minute warning would come down, batter the shit out of them and disappear.
No. You forgot his catchphrase. He would go, you've got about 3 minutes. And then he would go, did I just say 3 minutes? And that was the cue to come out, yes.
The following week, Garcia defeated Finkel in an evening gown tuxedo match with help from Trish Stratus and Stacy Keibler, who were insulted by a remark made by Finkel. So there you go. That's the last thing he ever did in a WWF ring, apparently.
What a poor guy.
Job done. Anyway, sorry, carry on. Saliva.
Hang on, before Saliva, the reason they didn't sing the national anthem is because they weren't in America.
That's a very good point.
True.
That makes sense, actually.
Without Googling anybody, who sang the anthem at the last WrestleMania that we had in Canada?
Rockin' Robin.
Has anyone watched the Naked Gun movies?
Enrico Palazzo.
No, it was Robert Goulet.
Oh, disappointing.
Who plays the? I believe he plays the bad guy in Naked Gun 2, if my memory serves me correct.
Yeah, I thought you meant Enrico Palazzo from the opening of the first one.
Which one?
When Drebin sings the national anthem because he's knocked out the opera singer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail in the twilight's last gleaming?
Sorry, we're on about the. I thought you meant the first WrestleMania. You mean the first Naked Gun?
That
was gone too far back in time.
Too far back in time.
Yeah, Rennie Goulet did. Sorry, not Rennie Goulet. Robert Goulet did.
Oh God, that's
Canada
right.
At the same time they were in the Skydome for WrestleMania 6.
There you go.
There'll be a few callbacks to WrestleMania 6 tonight, I think.
There's some WrestleMania facts flying right in my face right about now.
Definitely.
Yeah. We were still in the era where WWF could make good hype intro videos because I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it was good. Apart from digging up, they kind of mentioned WrestleMania 9. I was like, why would you invoke that?
Just because they can't help themselves.
Because that's like Hogan, isn't it? Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why they mentioned WrestleMania 9.
You tell us how.
It's legit, mate. It was because it was Hogan's last WrestleMania.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. But also, no one needs to remember WrestleMania 9, do they?
Well, no, there is that, but here you are.
Here we go. So we get cut to the crowd. They're going bananas. A couple of questionable signs as always. One I picked out in particular. I am ready. Take my candy ass. Okay, bit aggressive. Not so good. We get a shot of WWF New York. Rest in peace.
We need to go back to that. I'm sure we'll go back to that later, but we need to.
We definitely will. I'll go back specifically.
We shall. JR and King are on the call. Everything is good. And then we get RVD's music.
Was it it's the thingy version, isn't it?
Yes. Yep. So
how many versions of one of a kind were there?
It was like 2 or 3, depending. I'm sure there was one of the weird remix albums or something like that. That was a different version.
I think. Well, it'll be very much available on Forceful Entry.
Jesus Christ.
Which will be repeated many times during the evening.
It will be, yes. Vince McMahon's WWF presents Forcible Entry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now we know why I named the album that. Jesus Christ.
Move on. Regal versus RVD.
I wrote, here's my stream of consciousness. Tell me what you think I kind of got upset. So, my man Regal, such great shit. He has the fucking IC belt on upside down.
I didn't notice that.
During his entrance, it's upside down. He's wearing it upside down, and the camera makes a deliberate point of not showing the belt after the first shot.
Well, I'm wondering if Regal. I know he was clean at this point, wasn't he?
Yeah, this is after he came back clean, I think.
Yes.
Because there's a. Oh, I thought he cleaned himself up before he came. Before he
because
did
it was after
again.
the man's man stuff was it. That's when he kind of went out for rehab and went away and came back. And then when he came back, he was like the commissioner.
Yeah. He was still obviously having trouble with that when he won King of the Ring, didn't he? Because it's the reason why they didn't go ahead with the story that they were going to do.
Yes.
That was something else, but I think he always maintains it was some medical thing rather than him falling off the wagon.
He talked about it on his podcast when he was doing it.
Yeah, he basically, apparently in his podcast about a couple of years ago, he was asked about it and he said that they essentially told him that he was found that he had some banned substance. He couldn't work out where it came from. And the process of having to go through a whole arbitration of, him declaring his innocence and them saying, well, we found this in your system, would have gone on for so long and been so detrimental to his career. He was better off just sitting out 30 days and then just saying, all right, so that's what I did.
The only reason I asked, because maybe I know he had some medical issues where his nose kept bleeding, which was a medical condition, but
he's had all the medical issues.
During this match, it might be jet lag or whatever, but he just seems not to be himself in a few moments, in my opinion.
Well, I think that's more down to the fact that RVD waffles him at least twice with kicks that land, that hit the spot.
Possibly is another thing that he was a bit wild with a couple of his moves, wasn't he?
Well, I think Regal more than gets revenge with a couple of suplexes. Like, there's two moves where, he just killed a man in front of 80,000 people.
I adored these spots. Are you talking about the reversal that was into like a tiger suplex that was like the most brutal tiger powerbomb? It was like the most brutal landing possible.
Drops in straight onto his head.
Yes.
I gave it a Google. I wanted to see if there was any kind of after injuries or anything from that. And I came across a Reddit post when someone kind of did a picture of a gif of that move, and someone commented saying they were there. They were sat right to the back, and even from where they were sat, they thought RVD was we were almost getting to Ganzo bomb territory. At the stadium, they were like, "Yeah, that man's dead. Regal's just killed him, dead with one move."
He's just went, right, you little prick, time to die.
Yeah, just bang, dead.
Regal's little gimmick during this time was the power of the punch.
Yes, indeed.
Where he would try and sell to the referee, he's just got a mighty right hand or whatever. Is it right or left? I don't know. Whichever hand he usually uses. And really, he would hide brass knucks, sometimes in ingenious places to try and fool the referee.
Yes.
But there's a bit in this where he doesn't seem to be able to find them in his trunks. So.
Yeah, it's after because he comes to the ring with a pair and he tries to waffle RVD and he misses. And later on in the match, he goes into the corner and he spends an incredibly uncomfortable long time fumbling around his tights looking for the second pair.
He's got about 5 down there, I expect, based on how many he kind of pulls out of the ring.
It's just...
Again, he talked about that on his podcast, and he said they tried to make him carry them through airports and stuff, because they're illegal
there's no
things
way.
to carry in your person.
After 9/11, there's no way you get.
No.
He was like, "Oh, I'm not going to carry them through." I think he hid them basically in the stage equipment, so he would just collect them when he got back to the stage.
That was smart.
Yeah,
that was very smart.
Tell me that William Regal was hiding brass knucks around the technical backstage area, like he was in Hitman or something.
Yeah, I am apparently.
And now I'm really desperate for a mod where Agent 47 swapped out for William Regal in the Hitman games,
doing his really kind of posh annoyed face.
That'd be brilliant.
His really kind of pinched lips, annoyed looking face, when he smells something awful. That face on Agent 47 the entire time.
Yeah. The other move of doom was a full Nelson into a German suplex, which just looked absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, both of them, I was like, how? Well, maybe not the second one, but the first one, I was like, why isn't that someone's finisher? Because that looks amazing.
Oh, yeah. It's just the way Regal does it, because he does it. It's not done to be pretty, it's done to murder. Yeah,
the intent on it was there, wasn't it? Very clearly. Mm-hmm. They only had about, was it 6 minutes?
6-7 minutes, but it was a fun 6-7 minute sprint. And RVD
hit. It's a good start.
Yeah, gets the crowd going. RVD hits a 5-star after failing a couple times and gets the 3, and we've got a new IC champion in the form of Mr. RVD, Mr. 420.
Yep. It was. I thought when Regal had the 2 knocks, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is going to be him winning as a result of using them. And I was like, oh, no, it doesn't matter, 5-star.
Yep, done.
Never mind.
I got to say, though, as an opener, it was over with terribly quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's shooting marketing. It is too quick for that. What these guys could probably do, but
They had to obviously give time to more important matches later on in the card. He says humorously. Yes. We then cut the stage to Christian being Christian. This guy is brilliant.
Your father and my father.
Yeah, it's the goofy smile that just killed me. They just cut backstage and he's just doing this smile.
It's a ridiculous face. It is like, can you imagine, like in 20 years, this man is like one of the most like hated people.
Oh yeah,
vile acts from that face to where he is now. It's crazy.
So this whole storyline's got set up on the Raw before, where DDP was apparently helping Christian get his groove back, and he helped him beat the one Billy Gunn, but then Christian just turns on him for whatever reason.
Yes, it's very quick, isn't it? Very, yeah.
Yeah. So Christian admits to using DDP to get back to his winning ways.
Was it? It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. That was his thing, wasn't it?
He also makes the point that he is now no longer from Canada. He is now from Tampa, Florida.
I love that. I got such a boo out of the crowd on that. It's cheap, but it's effective.
Oh, I mean, yeah. And he's over his temper tantrums, and he's a winner, followed by the goofy smile, which this was just wonderful.
Was it a thing at the time? This is what I like, because the Dudleys were doing that thing from the Budweiser advert. Was this a thing like that from popular culture that we've just completely forgotten about?
No, it's just DDP's smiles.
Yeah, it was power positivity. Yeah,
he's ripping the piss out of DDP and his positivity.
Gosh, yeah.
This is what happens when you set up a match with 1 week's notice.
That would be like, we'll come back to that at the end, but I think that's my kind of big kind of critique on the card. Is that a lot of it feels like the build to a lot of the matches don't feel particularly, not good, that's the wrong word, but like put together as well as previous shows.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of that. But it's not the worst reason tonight that there'll be two guys fighting.
Oh yeah, totally.
But with this one, it's like DDP coming from WCW as a massive star, and that's how you bury the guy in 6 months. Now he's a goofy guy with a smile who it was in the eyes the European title match, you know.
Yeah, I have put down here on that note, I said, has anyone been labelled as more of a WCW guy than DDP around about this time?
No. Because even the... oh, God, I've forgotten the name of the team. Benoit...
Radicals.
Thank you, the Radicals. Thank you. Like the Radicals, right. you could tell that. Sorry, that took a long way there. I was off on a long run there. Thank you. They came out and they knew they were from WCW, but they didn't have that WCW stink. DDP has that stink all over.
Yeah,
it's like there's people that they got from WCW around about the invasion angle that they seem to take great delight in just grinding down completely. And I think DDP is probably the one that fell the highest.
Yes, I would say so. It's sad. It is what it is, but I mean, like I say, this was more like a this match should have happened on the Raw after Mania, not on the actual Mania show itself.
Yeah,
you'd think that, but
we do get like an abdominal stretch out of it, so you can't really argue with that, can you?
that gave it an extra star.
Yeah, extra star for that.
But yeah, Christian reverses the diamond cutter. DDP gets another diamond cutter for 3. DDP retains, and Christian has another tantrum in the middle of the ring. La 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 la.
Oh, that's my only other note on that. When I really liked when they came to the ring and Christian took the belt and held it up before the match started.
Yes,
he's such a good heel. Such a good heel.
Yeah. We then cut backstage to Jonathan Coachman and The Rock, so you know gold is coming.
Didn't see this coming.
No.
This coach just getting told to pray to do his. Are we taking your prayers, coach? No. Are we taking your prayers? You're on your knees, coach. And then what is it? Get out of here, you sick freak, when he kicks him out? Nice.
Something like that, yeah.
You get out of here, you sick freak!
Why has The Rock suddenly become some kind of religious pastor during this promo?
Coach said his prayer. So he has to get Coach to say his prayers, because that's the Hulk commandments. Hulk commandments. I can't remember what he called them. The demandments. That's what it was, isn't it?
Yep.
Say your prayers. Take your vitamins. Do steroids. Don't be a racist.
Do steroids. Make millions. Say it's all natural. Release subparticular. Fuck bitches. Win at life.
Say you played bass for Metallica. Yeah.
We now cut to. I don't want to talk about Maven, but we have to, don't we?
Goldust versus Maven.
Oh,
we do have to
Jesus.
talk about Maven because can we, as a podcast, put a little bit of a seal of approval on Maven's YouTube channel?
No.
Is
Why
it not
not?
good?
I listen to Maven's
It's
channel.
really good.
I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
I'm overruled, so I'll go with the group.
Either watch it.
It's good.
Should I like and subscribe, Cameron?
You should, because he does a lot of videos about wrestling life that maybe other people would have been a bit like reluctant to cover. Like he does a whole video about how he admits to being on steroids at this time.
Well, I mean,
Wrestlers
And
steroids.
he's very, very careful to say that WWE didn't encourage it.
yes,
Of course he is.
litigation mania running wild.
Because probably as soon as he started that sentence, a WWE lawyer appeared behind him with a gun.
Yeah, exactly. But he also says that it was kind of like, on the whole, as the industry as a whole, you were kind of encouraged to look your very best. And if that meant facial enhancement, then here's how you do that kind of thing was readily available.
That was the line, was it not? It's an aesthetic business, which yes, it still is. However,
Yes.
there was this drive to, if you didn't look like a Greek god, you were basically a slob.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
But I think that was more driven, I think, by Vince McMahon's unrequited horniness for men and oil muscled up and what have you.
Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Look at the.
Well, I would say Lex
look at
Luger,
the
prime
quads.
example. Yeah.
The quads. Can we get another shot of the calves? No, Bobby, calm down.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
so
enough.
here's
Out
the
of you.
hardcore championship. Do you remember when that was a thing?
Yep.
Which technically
Um,
lasts for 3 minutes and 17 seconds, but obviously it's the 24/7
It
hardcore
actually,
championship.
it
belt,
actually
so-
doesn't, Phil. It actually doesn't, because the original match
Yeah.
ends within seconds because that little prick Spike Dudley appears.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like it's 24/7, so the match never finishes. It's always going. It's on
Then
through
why
the
have an
entire-
actual match? Why not just have two men run out from like the back?
Well, because we can do it in between matches as like VT bits later, so it's fine.
Why the fuck would you have a belt that's 24/7, then try and make official matches for it when you know there's going to be interference straight away? I
don't
get
know.
there's no disqualifications, no countouts, but to book an actual match on a card for a 24/7 title seems a bit counterproductive for me.
It's just a bit. But I do like it when Spike just comes in and just pins him and runs off. Like,
well, I mean
I dig
that's the Crash Holly approach.
yeah,
Get in, get out.
get out.
And of course, Crash then makes an appearance and chases after him.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Crash Holly that started the whole 24/7 thing.
Yep.
So it's his deal.
I believe it was the Houdini of Hardcore was his title.
That was the
Love
one.
it.
That was the one.
But so yeah, it's like 3 minutes of nothing where we probably could have like not had this and had 3 more minutes of RVD and Willie Regal, but you know, what can you do, right?
Yeah, it was sad because the crowd didn't care. And Goldust is... I've got a lot of time for Dustin Rhodes. I think he's really, really underrated.
Oh, totally.
Well, for the length of career he's had, definitely.
Yeah, just the length of the career and the fact that he's reinvented himself a number of times. You know, going
Totally.
from like
Yeah, and
his vanilla self, the NWA, to this flamboyant, over-the-top Hollywood movie star.
in a gimmick that at the time it debuted was incredibly risky.
Oh God, yeah. He got some not very nice chants in some places. I remember watching some old Raws. It's just like, oh no.
And it could have been a gimmick that would have either forgotten about, or it would have absolutely tanned his whole career.
Oh God, yeah, it was a big risk, but
he made it work to the point of we're still talking about Goldust, what, nearly 30 years after he debuted.
Yeah, and that kind of like 96 period, like there probably wasn't anybody as hot as him in the business.
No,
other than maybe
I
like
agree.
the NWO and that kind of side of things. Like he was certainly the biggest thing in WWE for about a year, 18 months or so.
It was certainly unique.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, certainly unique. And to the point where obviously Scott Hall couldn't really handle it. Ahmed Johnson couldn't handle it.
Well, he couldn't handle a lot of things, could he, to be honest? That's, you know.
Not really, no. There we go.
I've written down we got a group next, Drowning Pool.
Yes, Drowning Pool.
Yeah, JR describes them as the red hot group Drowning Pool.
Yes.
And they're going to tell you the story of tonight's undisputed title match. Oh my fucking Christ.
I've written down this is no My Way promo. No, it isn't.
Oh, My Way will still be. I've still yet to see a video package that just hits it at all levels, like the My Way WrestleMania 17 one.
It's high art, the My Way promo. Like in all media, there's very few things as well edited as that video. It's obscene how good that is.
Yep, it's...
And the fact that it's like Limp Bizkit, it's just like, how will they attach to something so good? It makes no sense.
What we can learn from this section, by the way, what we can learn from this section before we carry on is new metal was shite.
No.
I think what I wrote down earlier is like a lot of the bands that are on this show are basically like what gets returned when you go to an AO prompt and say, make me a early 2000s new metal band. Like these bands are
the generic
yeah, that's what you kind of get returned back from the AI machine. Yeah. But new metal does suck. You're right, yes.
I had the horrible thought that if this was AEW now, Chris Jericho would be singing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just picture that in your mind. Chris Jericho would want to sing.
He's his own Dennis Waterman, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. That's Chris Jericho singing the theme tune.
He's the Dennis Waterman of wrestling.
Oh, my God.
My God. I want him to do a cover of the Minder theme. Could you imagine Chris Jericho singing that?
AI was invented for, Phil.
For the learning tree, that'll be their music come down to the ring. I could be so good for you.
Oh, Jesus.
Promise Christ. I will bury you.
Yeah.
Na 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 na.
Just fuck off back to the E already.
Wait, backstage. What happens to you?
Backstage, Crash Holly is still chasing after Spike, where Al Snow attempts to commit vehicular homicide.
I hope that's where like AEW got it from, like, you know, nearly 20 years later. When it was it Sammy Guevara going after Hangman Page the other way around? One of the great images of wrestling.
Kenny Omega in the golf cart.
And remember, this is the year after we have the infamous segment where the big boss man crashes the golf cart, it gets stuck, and they have to abandon what they were trying to do.
It was Raven, wasn't it?
Oh, Raven. Sorry, it was Raven. You're right. Sorry.
There was a show where Big Boss Man got stuck in the golf cart, but it wasn't this one. It wasn't a WrestleMania.
Just in his private life.
Well, there was also one where Big Boss Man stole Big Show's dad, but that's a different thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what Christian stole his gimmick, wasn't it? Christian stole the entire gimmick from that.
What you didn't see off camera was Al Snow was in his golf cart, right? Mm-hmm. And then he noticed this big pile of cardboard boxes. So what he did is he painstakingly moved them one by one to another part just to plow into them, a la Father Ted.
Oh, Ted, look! It's a big bunch of boxes in the middle of the road! Just stay over forward!
So eventually, the Hurricane appears.
He swings on a chain. Fair play to that bit. That was good.
Yeah. He does his best Paul Burchill beforehand.
With sound effects.
Well, of course. And Shane Helms is the new hardcore champion, but will he retain the belt for the rest of the night? We'll find out. Coming up next is a segment I would like to call Why Kurt Angle as a heel is great.
Kurt Angle versus Kane, and it's Kurt Angle still with hair. It's classic.
I don't like that.
I like that.
It's weird.
Not long to go though, is it? It's 2002 that he has that match with Edge.
Yeah, the haircut, the hair versus hair match. Was that?
He's been bald longer than with hair now, hasn't he? For like his entire career. If you kind of look at it.
It's like, to be fair to him, that gimmick, he lost that match obviously 22 years ago, and he's been bald ever since.
He kept that gimmick going, didn't he?
Yeah. So all fairness to him,
Now the one minus this match has is there are what chants.
That is true.
Well, that's not their fault. But can I have a bit of research for the start of this match, please?
Well, would this, Cameron, just to give you the lead into this, would this be the moment where, as he walks to the ring, Kurt's there with his medals, and Jerry the King Lawler proclaims that he has got more gold medals than all the Olympians in Canada? Would this be the moment?
Oh, Lordy, here we go.
Kurt Angle has more gold medals around his neck than the Canadian national team.
Cameron Phillips investigates.
That needs a theme tune.
like, guys? You know what I'm like? I was like, kind of going, wait a minute, hold on. One must, in pursuit of integrity and justice, research this to see if this is true.
This is pure broadcast journalism going on here. It's pure.
What I had to do is I couldn't Google how many gold medals have the Canadian national. I only restricted it to Summer Olympics because obviously Kurt Angle won them in the Summer Olympics, so I wouldn't count the Winter Olympics. Yeah. So
I feel like they'd have more winter golf than summer golf as well. So that's
I thought that should be daft. And I was like, right. I was like, kind of going, right. So what I had to do is, because I couldn't pinpoint it to 2002 specifically, I was like, right, because Google was having none of it. I needed to find out how many gold medals Canada had won up to the present day.
Okay.
Find out how many gold medals they'd won in each Olympics, and subtract all the latest ones as I worked my way backwards to 2002.
This sounds like you needed a spreadsheet.
No, I needed a calculator, Phil.
Well, that's what a spreadsheet is. So. Okay, come on.
Do you want to have the final score?
We do. We'll queue up the CAN report music, and you can go for it.
Okay. As far as gold medals around the necks go, Kurt Angle won the entire nation of Canada 52.
Ooh.
So Jerry Lawler can fuck right off.
I mean, Jerry Lawler could fuck right off for a number of reasons, but that's definitely one of them.
Well, yeah, that's definitely probably one of the tamer ones. Yeah. So anyway,
break that down between different sports. I'd be interested to know like how much is track, how much is field, how much is like the weird sports no one ever does.
I didn't quite go that far, Phil, if I'm honest.
This is why you needed a spreadsheet. I want the data visualized for me. I went to like Ben Johnson, but he had his gold medal taken away because he was a dirty cheating bastard. So I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like by this point, middle distance is kind of dominated by the African countries, so it's not going to be that. I'm intrigued to know what their medals are in. Weightlifting, powerlifting, maybe.
Probably you'd be looking more at indoor stuff, you know.
Like the what's the shooting one? The one with the horses and the shooting.
The one with the shooting horses? What?
No, the one with the you do some shooting, you ride a horse, you do some fencing.
Are you thinking the Modern Pentathlon?
That's the one, yeah.
Well, that's called being a member of the royal family, is it not?
You don't remember the last Olympics where some guy punched a horse in it?
Is that not Newcastle versus Sunderland? No.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Yeah, one of the horses kicked off on somebody like mid thing and just ruined their chances for gold medals. They got backstage and the trainer punched it in the face.
I mean, that's one way of dealing with it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that's a good way of dealing with it or a healthy way of dealing with it.
Terrible dealing with it, but it was a German horse kicking off at one of the was it a German horse? Brexit got involved in it somehow. I'll dig the story out for you guys in the chat.
For God's sake! All right.
It was like I remember watching it live at the time, and it was hysterical. What was going on? This horse just like rebelled completely against everything. Any kind of human control is like, no, I'm having none of this, and just tried to run out of the arena. It was brilliant.
There's a joke about the Tory party, but I'll leave it alone. Anyway, Kurt Angle versus Kane.
Yeah, back away from the Olympics, back onto the match.
Yes. This was a match. I wrote down my notes. This is a match for two people who clearly had nothing else going on, so they thought, just throw them out there.
Yeah. I quite liked Kurt Angle's new nickname of the Big Red, White, and Blue Machine. That was a good name.
Yep.
Could have kept that. That's a great name, that was.
I got flashbacks to Sexy Kurt for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know why. But also, Angle waffling Kane with the ring bell before they ring the ring bell. Nice touch.
Yes.
And then he just grabs Kane and does a belly to belly on him. It's like, Kurt, you're just too good a wrestler. Just stop wrestling. You're so good. You're just really,
it's probably really high as a kite, allegedly.
At this point, Kurt would have been winning, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is right when he's having his major problems with like pain pills.
So maybe not like majorly, but getting there. How many neck surgeries had he had up until now? He's had 5 total, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think maybe like 2 or 3. Oh, God.
This is on the fly research.
More research coming up.
On a similar topic, they do keep mentioning like head trauma quite a bit during this match.
Kane suffering some head trauma thanks to Kurt Angle. And wait a minute! My God! More head trauma! Kane has not recovered from the head trauma. And it just
see Kane's, well, that more head trauma. Did you see his head bounce off the mat there?
You can tell it's like pre-Benoit because I don't think they'll be mentioning that much these days, but they're just constantly saying about head trauma on both of them.
No, I think that would probably not go well if somebody brought that up. This was the matchiest match that ever matched.
It was definitely a match, but it's like both of them are good. Like at a very base level, both of them are just like really good wrestlers. So like they're not going to have a terrible match. And there's like there's the triple German on Kane, looks really good. Kane just like an amazing looking power slam. Like it's all really good, but yeah, there's just no kind of like real nothing to get your teeth into it story wise.
Something to get invested in.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing about this match though is if you look back at all Kurt Angle's WrestleMania matches, no one ever goes, "Oh yeah, do you remember Kane at WrestleMania 18? That was great."
That's a good point.
You remember 19 against Lesnar. You remember, was it 21 against Michaels?
Yep.
But no one ever goes about this match.
Jesus, WrestleMania 19, otherwise known as the Kurt Angle self-pile driver.
Yes.
My only other kind of comment on this match was King's commentary isn't, brilliant at the best of times. It's all right. It's good. It kind of gets the job done with the JR. But the way he keeps putting like Olympic in front of all of Kurt's moves, I quite like that. Like it's an Olympic kick, it's an Olympic punch. It's like everything's an Olympics dash something, which was like that makes sense with Kurt because he's the big red, white, and blue machine.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely a match. 10 minutes, not too bad.
Yep.
And then we're backstage because Hurricane's still running around somewhere.
Yeah, Hurricane's hiding in the women's locker room at this point.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, Al.
I can only assume someone's watched the DVD of Austin Powers and thought, hey, we can do that. That's in the zeitgeist. People will love that if we do that joke.
Godfather's fours are getting changed.
Naturally.
Hurricane's behind the screen waiting to see silhouette.
This is like right out of a Carry On film.
Why has he got a broom? Do you remember why has he got a broom?
He's protecting himself with it.
He's holding a broom, and suddenly he positions the broom between his legs. But of course, the shadow of the screen
as you do
implies he's got a giant erection. And then the women see him and scream. Godfather comes in, and I think the word "hurraperv" is knocked around somewhere.
I'll try and find that in the audio. If I need to, I'll enhance it. But you might be right.
You guys okay? It's all right. I'm here now. You guys all right? Okay, man. Oh.
And then the Hurricane scurries off. Chased by Godfather.
Off he goes.
That'd be a twist to the entrance song. Stand back. There's a erection coming through.
Hey.
Anyway, this was stupid. Anywho,
very stupid. The title didn't even change hands. It's rubbish. What's the point?
To get a penis joke on pay-per-view. I don't know.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, what's Godfather and his horse even there? Did they do anything throughout the night? Because they weren't on the break, they weren't in the dark. They haven't got a match. Just bring his horse to the arena to get some business rather than he's not even wrestling, yeah?
Horse to the arena.
There's a Vince McMahon joke here, but I'm not going to say it.
We'll move on. Anyway, next match. Undertaker versus Ric Flair.
Yes, a no DQ match as it was made by Vince because he got full control because of Flair.
There's all shenanigans behind this, isn't there?
There's too many, and your brain will explode if you try and work it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So Taker comes out to roll, and this is obviously Biker Taker as he returned it.
In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go through it. Right.
Uh-oh.
So what happened was
I'll fade him out. It's fine. I'll fade him out.
Vince McMahon and Ric Flair. Right, going back to the old takeover with WCW and stuff. Ric Flair bought Shane and Stephanie's 50% shares, so now it's Vince and Flair that own 50% each, right?
Right.
You're following me so far.
Yeah.
They had a match at the Royal Rumble for the 100% share. Well, I believe if again my memory's hazy, but I think it only worked if Flair won. It was 50-50, but if Vince won, was it? So now Flair's not in charge. Vince is 100% in charge, and yeah. And then one last logic flaw. Sorry, I've just run the subject. Why would you give Vince 100% control back after he just brought the NWA in? That just seems like a stupid idea, does it not?
No, things are stupid.
I think I need to go to the hospital because I'm hearing things.
I would say we'll ignore that, Adam. Thank you for trying to explain that for us, but it's too great a task for anybody, I feel, to try to unravel that list of shenanigans.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try.
You tried, Alan. That's the important thing of the day. One of us at least tried.
If you tried, I want to throw out the thought that Biker Ticket doesn't feel like a proper WrestleMania thing.
In what way?
Like, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania Taker. Like, he comes out. It just feels like it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I want the bong and the slow walk and all the druids and whatever. I want, like, that kind of entrance to WrestleMania.
This was Taker in his rebellion era, so, that was never going to happen. The dong was away.
He probably had a bong before he came out.
Well, but you know what? It just doesn't feel like the Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the Biker Taker is all right, and he's good and fun. And all. Like, he needed to do it. I appreciate that. He needed to kind of move on for the spooky gimmick, because like the rest of the card, they kind of embrace the kind of quote realism of their characters and that sort of thing. So Taker needed to kind of follow that, and that kind of thing reflected him, and it's all fine. But it was so much better when he went back to the kind of proper music and slow
when he was
walk
the Undertaker again, not random biker number 3.
Exactly, yeah. It feels a bit like, I don't want to say generic, but he comes out to flipping rolling. I mean, come on.
Well, that was again another WWF Full Support entry now available in stores.
Available now. Let's I assume it's on streaming as well. Get on that, folks. Use our affiliate link in the description below.
But at this point, he's like halfway through this gimmick, isn't he? Because it's like 2000 he debuts it. And then, obviously, WrestleMania in 2 years' time, he'll be back as dead guy Undertaker.
Yep.
So he's halfway through this gimmick. It's a really kind of short span of 4 years in a total career of about 30.
Yeah.
But it feels... I know what you mean, though. It just feels really, really odd, this being here.
Not to have the kind of the big, epic, proper Taker entries. Comes down on the bike, which apparently is loaded up with steel pipes, because that's all how a bike works. It runs off lead pipes.
This was basically just an opportunity for both men to get some colour.
It did make Flair a while. Give him some credit. It didn't it wasn't like Moxley coming in, getting colour coming through the ropes. It took him a while before that happened.
John Moxley, I love him.
Good Moxley.
I was just going to say, Flair manages to fuck up his own corner move as well.
Well, I mean, that's just Ric Flair being Ric Flair. I mean, that's part of the course.
Right. Yeah. Although I think Taker says that, because that once they go outside, you hear Taker say, "Now we go to school," and it's like, yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's
really
where Flair starts bleeding after that once he's at school, which makes his complete sense.
I'm sure Flair tells a story. I'm sure he does. That thing where he bodges up the move, and apparently Taker just goes from in the ring and just goes, "Do you want to try that again?" And then they do the same thing again. Yeah.
You kind of want that in your Flair match, don't you? You kind of want the classic Flair bits.
Get the greatest hits out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's it. So this was just a match of two men waffling each other with various items. Yeah, there was really nothing.
I think JR does mention the streak, which isn't much of a thing at this moment in time. I think he does mention it on commentary.
He does, yeah. He's 9-0 at Mania at this point. Mm-hmm. On spoilers, he goes to 10-0.
No way.
I know.
But they work they're both really good wrestlers, so they work a really good match. It's it's not nothing kind of groundbreaking, but there's a superplex looks great when Taker starts pinning Flair and picking him up for the 3. That's really good. Because he's just this whole thing about him just wanting to hurt Flair because I think he murdered the rest of his family, if I remember right.
I don't know.
He definitely tried to murder David Flair.
Yes, definitely tried to murder him.
Yes, he did.
But I think that was more for his final few days in WCW than anything else.
Boom.
I have a nomination to make.
Oh, go on.
The following contest contains one of the most ridiculous stipulations I have ever seen in WWE /F.
Hang on. Are we finished with Flair?
Yes.
Oh, well, let me finish off Flair. Didn't even think we were described the end of the match.
I beg your pardon.
Right.
We haven't mentioned one of the best bits.
All right, go on then. Go on.
Is there a more beautiful wrestling move than Arn Anderson doing a spinebuster?
No, there isn't.
That's fair. Yes, I missed that.
Where does he come from? He just appears out of nowhere with a spine buster.
He just appears out of fucking nowhere, yeah, but it's great.
It's a spine buster, and then it's instantly bleeding. It's like, this is pure Four Horsemen. This is brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Because I think Flair hits him with a pipe as well, doesn't he? And then a spine buster.
Looks beautiful. He does, yeah.
But that's still not enough. Now, I think Taker possibly goes for the last ride, but can't quite do it.
No, because Flair's not going up for it. You can tell that Flair's like, nah, fuck that.
It's fucking tombstone time.
Yeah, Flair would rather take a tombstone than a last ride.
Yeah.
It's a nasty looking tombstone, though, because Flair's riding that low, if you'll pardon the expression.
And
it's
I know Flair's got the front hair and everything, but still, like, it looks like he's taking that quite, very much on top of the head.
But then straight to the tombstone for 3.
Yeah, and then he kills the referee again, because why not?
Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to recap this match.
What?
Right, so back to the shares. Right.
Oh,
so,
Jesus God, no.
What happened was...
He's been on Wikipedia this whole time.
No. This is my own doing, and if any facts are wrong, it's my brain.
This is the book of Al being read right now.
What happened is, of course, Flair's lost his shares.
Obviously.
He's lost his job. Undertaker beat up his son. Undertaker beat up his best friend, Arn Anderson. Right? Flair comes in and uses a lead pipe. Flair comes in and has a 2-1 advantage. And after all of that, where the face should win, Flair just jobs out in pretty much a squash match, pretty much an extended squash match. Do you think that they still had a grudge against WCW at this moment in time?
No, I can't see how you would come up with that.
Not under any circumstances does WCW ever look better in front of WF stars. The Undertaker, he's born and bred in WWE. There's absolutely no way Flair's getting jack shit against this guy. 16-time world champion, 16-time jobber. He's getting jobbed the fuck out in this match, I'll tell you that much. Do you think Flair looks strong at the end of this? Because I certainly didn't.
Well, I don't think that the intent with Flair, he pretty much kind of just wandered around the card until the Evolution, isn't he? In the couple of, next year, the year after?
Yeah, until he gets involved with Triple H, then yeah, probably. Yeah.
He's just randomly on the card. So yeah, I can see Vince just kind of taking some kind of pleasure of just like not pushing him or not doing anything with him at all, because why would he? He's WCW.
Yeah. What does Flair do at WrestleMania 19? Because obviously 20 is in that Evolution versus Rock and Sock.
I'll be surprised if he's on the card off the top of my head.
The hell is Flair doing at 19?
Let me go. Hang on.
Is he with? He's just in Triple H's corner in the Booker T match. I'd be surprised if he's wrestling.
Is he not in the bar?
Yeah.
That's before and after.
Triple H brackets with Ric Flair.
There we go. He was just seconding him at this point in time. Okay, so there you go. There's the answer.
What, are we on to the next match? Because I think it's 100% legitimate.
Well, I mean, before we get to the next match, we do have an interview with Michael Cole interviewing Booker T, who is apparently doing this dumb himbo thing.
With glasses, don't forget, because he's intelligent.
With his... Sure. I just wish he would not be on NXT commentary because he's not very good, but that's my own opinion. Anyway, so this was a match, again, two people who clearly had nothing to do on the card, so they thought, you know what, let's come up with something. Yeah. What could these two men win if they win? With one of the men, be it Edge, in his hometown of Toronto, Canada, what could be the prize that they go for in this match? And someone in the corner came up with a funny suggestion of, hey, why don't we have them do something like Mr. Sparkle, only instead of washing up liquid, it's a Japanese shampoo commercial. Who greenlit this? Because I want to find who they are and erase them from the gene pool.
I mean, I don't think they ever made this advert. That's the bit I'm good with.
I think
Edge got the go ahead. I mean, to me, when they were doing that, what was that Edge and Christian thing called on the network?
Oh, the Edge and Christian? That was just the Edge and Christian.
Sure.
Is it simple as that? You're telling me, surely to go back and just make a stupid advert with the Edge and shampoo would have been hilarious.
Because it was a Japanese advert, wasn't it? Something ridiculous. Yes,
it was a Japanese. Yeah. I think I only say that I do wish they could have made it, because they could have also made. I don't know if anyone's seen the Hulk Hogan advert where he's advertising air conditioners.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again.
毎日
Sunday,
毎
Monday,
日
Tuesday,
日立の
Wednesday,
細長
Thursday,
は
Thursday,
静
Friday,
か
Saturday,
サラサラ
Sunday comes again.
きれいな空気体には細長が気持ちいいんです日立のビッグフローウェルネス
And also, you could have brought Funaki into it as well. Like, the whole thing just writes itself.
Oh, Jesus.
But no, we didn't get that.
Flash from the past. I watched Tajiri wrestle last week. He is still wrestling. He's now given up dyeing his hair, so it's now grey. It's very strange.
Oh, bless him.
Tajiri? Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Okay.
Suppose his knees still work, or his hips, or any part of his body, to be honest.
I don't know. But he is still wrestling, apparently. Well, I can't say apparently he is still wrestling
Definitely
because
still
I watched him in Pro Wrestling Noah the other week.
Nice.
Bloody hell. Good on Tajiri.
Yes.
Is he on Cameo?
Oh my God.
We'll find out in 10 years, Cam.
Yeah. Great.
This match goes 6 minutes and 32 seconds, and again, it's all right.
Yeah.
We get a spinneroonie.
It's fine.
JR really doesn't like the spinneroonie. I don't know if you guys caught that like tone of his voice during the commentary. Like he does.
JR doesn't like a lot about this match at all.
Yeah. It's still weird seeing Edge in that kind of like the post Edge and Christian pre-rated R superstar kind of period where
I maintain that no one on this earth has got more gain out of shagging their best mate's girlfriend than Edge has.
How do you like what's the criteria for rating that for other people? Like,
well, I'm just thinking, right, if right, alternative universe time,
right,
if Edge, Adam Copeland, whatever, had never ever got with Lita, where would he be now?
Does everything happen? That's true. That's an interesting because it gives
all that rated R stuff, all that Cena feud doesn't happen.
That's a fair point.
He carries on being a white meat babyface, blonde Canadian guy, occasionally harks back to the Brood. I've never he gained so much from that.
Oh yeah.
Matt Hardy, the victim of all that, what he had to do in the meantime. And he never hit the same heights.
No. Do you think we would have had Broken Edge and rated R Matt Hardy? Do you reckon that's what would have happened?
Well, it wouldn't have been rated R Matt Hardy because he would have been in an honest relationship with his girlfriend.
Exactly.
It would have been like married man Matt Hardy.
Ugh, no.
But he would have done that so well. You know he would have done a great that would have been a great gimmick for Matt Hardy. Married Matt Hardy would have been brilliant. Just coming out in a suit all
married
the time.
Matt Hardy.
Just smashing people with cake.
Yep, that would have been great. Can you imagine that?
His finisher would have been called the First Dance.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Anyway,
nice.
I think that's more memorable this match, which Edge wins with an executioner, apparently.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yeah.
For 3.
Oh god, this is this segment that Al mentioned earlier
this
on.
Actually, is one of my favourite parts of the show.
Jesus,
it absolutely made me laugh my head off.
So, Coach is with the Hurricane. Mighty Molly runs up to the Hurricane, and remember at this point, Mighty Molly was the sidekick of the Hurricane. Yeah. However, she then twats him with the frying pan, covers
absolutely
him,
waffles him.
Oh yeah, and hits and wins the title.
It's great because she kind of points over there, and he kind of looks there like a superhero. Then she just gets out this like giant comical sized frying pan, and wham!
Easy. I just want to ask you a question.
Don't trust him.
Your first WrestleMania, new hardcore champion. But what happened with the Godfather's escorts? I mean, are those motives really becoming of a superhero?
Holy insinuation, citizen coach. You dare question the integrity of the Hurricane? What's up with that? I am not a hurrah.
It's something out of a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
Just actual genius. And then like, boom, she's off with the belt. Champion. Well done. Love it.
Yep.
Big fan of that moment.
There's then a very unfortunate video package which contains the following line of Vince McMahon wanting to, quote, inject the poison into WWE. Let that one sit for a minute.
We'll move on from that in the current climate. Thank you, Ewan.
That's fine. I just was saying that, we've had a lot of questionable... Anyway, so Vince's idea to kill the WWE, or I'm not sure what the hell he was trying to do, was bring back the New World Order.
New World Order.
Yes. I still maintain this was a complete waste of time for everyone involved.
There's one good thing that comes out of this match, like one classic moment we'll get to at the end. But otherwise, yeah, it's just, and like I think the whole thing kind of gets summed up at the beginning when Scott Hall comes out, seemingly drunk. Can't say for sure, but he looks like a little toasted.
I think he was a wee bit altered in some manner.
Wee bit. And then he does this point thing back at the ramp, and like nothing happens for about a good 30 seconds. Until Kevin Nash kind of wanders out, remembering like maybe he missed his cue or what, I don't know. But he just kind of comes up with him as well. It's like, oh boy.
He was enjoying a glass of wine and missed his cue.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, actually, I wrote down a question at this point, because I'm sure Alan would know. What was the last Razor Ramon WrestleMania?
11.
There you go.
Wow, straight off the bat.
Oh, I was going to think about that, but so yeah, 11. Yeah, you're right.
He was obviously scheduled for 12, but he was replaced.
Yes.
I was gonna. I wondered that during the match, and I thought I'll look on Wikipedia, and I thought, no, I'll save it for the podcast. Just ask Al, it'll be easier.
We are aware this was obviously tonight was supposed to be Hogan versus Austin, and that obviously didn't happen.
No,
and this is why Austin ends up with Scott Hall.
And then 22 years later, The Rock does it again.
Yeah. Do we want Jim Ross's take on the situation? And his
I would like to hear that.
Can we have it in the voices of the world to the rich and famous voice, please?
Yes, please.
Yes. Then I can get the music out underneath it.
It's a serious journalistic point, Phil.
Cameron, read it in the voice.
I'm going to put the music underneath it, whatever you do. So it doesn't matter how serious it is.
Do it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But I'm not doing the voice. Right. Austin had it.
Boo.
Can we just boo through this segment until he does the
I'm going to boo through the segment, yeah.
Boo.
Do the voice.
I got
do the voice.
Do the voice.
Do the voice. Do it. Do it.
No.
Do it. You don't want to.
Birthday. I got a cameo from actual Jim Duggan. You can do the voice.
Do it for Jim Duggan.
Jim's listening. He's listened for 10 years.
But yeah, back to what we're doing first. Cameron, do the voice. Do the voice.
No.
Fine, just let him do it.
No, I'm going to give you some journalistic research I've done here, right? Okay?
But do it in the voice.
I'm going to put the goofy music underneath it. Don't worry about that. I'll get him voice.
I don't fucking care. I'm not doing a fucking voice. Austin had it in his mind that Hogan's style and Austin's style were oil and water. He just didn't feel the chemistry. Austin was never about having good matches. Austin was about having great matches. And he knew better than anyone else in the world who he could work with the best. And Hogan was not on that list. There you go. That's it.
Can I have another take on it?
Go on.
I think Austin's admitted this in previous years as well. It comes back to his bitterness against Hogan for the WCW things. He blames Hogan a lot for not succeeding in WCW and holding them back and stuff like that. And that was another reason he doesn't want to work with them. But I think in recent years he's realised that probably wasn't the smartest decision on his behalf after seeing how the match turned out. And, I think they could have worked it really smart. And I think you can see that now. But as you know, at this, which we'll go into soon, precise moment in time, Austin wasn't really in a very good place of mind to wrestle anybody at this moment in time.
It always feels like once Austin was on top, he was very protective of like who he'd be in matches with.
Which is ironic because that's exactly what he was criticising Hogan for in WCW.
Yeah, exactly,
but there you go.
Yeah, pot kettle black.
Bret Hart's the same. He goes on about Hogan, and then as soon as he's bloody world champ, I'm not jobbing to Shawn Michaels. No.
You've missed the key thing here. Bret Hart hates everything.
Okay.
yeah, he just hates fun and everything else.
I think it's hard to judge anybody until you're in that position of actually being on the top. And as you say, it does change people's. Cena's another one. He had and probably not as selfish as some, but he had the moment with the Nexus and stuff like that,
He was definitely more giving, but there was still that era of he's very. I've always found it very, very funny that people are so protective of fake belt in a fake sport.
Well, you say that. I've come up with an analogy. Right. This
okay, go for it.
Right, Ewan. You start work tomorrow, and they're like, "Hello, Ewan. This is Jim. He's starting work, and we want you to train him up to do your job. And you know what? As soon as he's ready, we're going to pay him more money and probably bump you into another department."
Okay.
Would you be happy training Jim up?
I mean, I would train him up terribly.
That's what I mean. It's a case of...
And then I would do the classic leave a shit on the desk of the director on the way out.
Well, that's exactly what wrestling's asked you to do. Put this guy over, he's going to steal your spot, and you're going to be, next year wrestling midgets at WrestleMania or something like that, like King Kong Bundy. That sort of thing.
No, yeah, it's not. It's like it's very much
hard to recover. It's hard to recover sometimes once you get bumped down the card when you're used to getting them paychecks and that celebrity status and that sort of thing.
Counterpoint: if your entire wrestling career is not just about ego, you can find a way to get yourself back over again, even if you're not the pushed commodity.
It's hard in WWF.
It's hard in WWF. It's hard, but it has been done and it can be done.
It has been involved. Not many occasions, though.
No, I think very much this area, though, it is all about ego. Like,
yes, 100%, 100%.
The whole company's driven by the ego of one man, essentially, isn't it? It's all driven by Vince's ego, and that just kind of filters down to how everybody sees himself on the card. Is like, once you get there, I think it's probably driven into them from 10 years back on the territories. You keep your spot. You do what you do to keep your spot on the card when you get up there. And like you say with Austin, he's probably aware his body's not in the best condition, especially after his neck surgery and all that. And he's only really how many years is he on top? 3-4 years maybe?
You would argue 98 was his his real one, and now he's on the downturn. And 4 years later,
So 98, he's out of it in December 99.
When Rikishi runs him over.
Oh God.
So he only gets about 18 months in his first run as world champion.
Yeah.
And then, or in that picture anyway. And then he's out for an entire year. He comes back for the 2000, doesn't he? So he's got the entirety of 2001. And then he's got this first part of 2002, but then quits not in June of 2002. He walks out.
He fails for a bit, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the moment they asked him to job to Brock Lesnar in the King of the Ring qualifier, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He maintains, though, that partly he wouldn't have minded jobbing to Lesnar, but he did mind the fact that it was a random match that just sprung out of nowhere.
Yeah, not like
it was a King of the Ring qualifier. However, I still think that was an excuse at the time. Well, we're going to go into this match. I may as well tell you this bit now. Originally, he was supposed to lose the Hall to actually put the NWO over or something, but he refused. He refused to lose the Hall, so he had the Hall lost, and that pretty much killed the NWO already. Pretty much.
I mean, it was pretty much dead in arrival. Let's be honest, because it was just sort of thrown together. I mean,
I don't know. I still think it would have had legs if done properly. I really maintain that.
In its form, it debuted.
If Hall could have stayed sober and Hall was on form, because he's a great wrestler, Scott Hall. He's fantastic. He's great moments in this, but you can kind of tell that he's just the heart doesn't seem in it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But not that he's going through the motions, but you can kind of feel like it's not his best. He's not at his best, and I think he needed to be at his best to make it work in this whole kind of scenario.
So what it was is they kind of got a bit sick of Austin to a degree, and they literally went to him, right, Austin, who do you want to work with? We've suggested stuff you don't want to do, and apparently he handpicked Eddie Guerrero.
Huh.
And then walked out anyway. So even tried to help him pick his opponent, he still didn't want to play ball or do anything. So then Jim Ross made the famous call of dropping his ball and taking his ball and going home sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just to finish the story off, Ric Flair actually replaced him at King of the Ring. So you got Guerrero versus Ric Flair.
So it's an all right match. Going back to the match,
it's fine. It serves its purpose. Fine, it's functional. Right, there's nothing horrible about it. It's just it's going back and me watching this match, it didn't feel like much of a WrestleMania at this point. It felt like maybe a higher level pay-per-view, if that's fair.
Yeah, but it's like we forget when we see like WrestleManias now taking place in like American football in normal domes and all this kind of stuff.
That was
you
all
forget that this is what WrestleMania used to be. WrestleMania used to be in arenas.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I forgot to mention a point right at the top of the show. This is the era where every pay-per-view had its own unique looking set. That is the one thing in wrestling I think is missing. Because everything is, I get why they do it. Everything's so generic. Everything's the same. Maybe just put different colors on it. But I love the era of every pay-per-view had its own unique set. You had the Backlash with the swinging hooks. Mania was a different set every year. And it really is only now, Mania is the only one I can think of that gets its own special set. But even then, because of doing it in football stadiums, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's not a wrestling show because Vince hates that word, but it feels more about the sort of pomp and circumstance as opposed to the actual thing that happens in the ring. The thing in the ring is an afterthought. Whereas now it's like, look how shiny all this stuff is. We've got so many video screens, blah, blah, blah. But to me, I would rather they spend the money on making the pay-per-views feel different and special. So, special, because I know from just looking at a set what pay-per-view I'm watching. Whereas now, unless I see a graphic, I've got no idea.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Can I tell you what the best moment of this match was?
Go on.
It's when Austin hits Scott Hall with the last stunner, and Stunner sells it, gives it a sell for the ages, where he just like flies backwards through the air. It's like one of the best sells of a stunner.
Well, doesn't he hit it? He hits it first and he just stands up, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And then Austin does the whole like camera, measured him up square, and then bang, another one.
I still say that the Shawn Michaels one where he like literally goes to 20 feet in the air.
That's probably the best one. But this one from Skull, it's one for the ages. The height he gets for the big man, where he takes the bump, brilliant.
We move on to our, fourth title match of the night?
Oh, no, we got...
Whoa.
WWF Access.
Sorry, yes, I forgot
one
about
of the
Access.
most grotesque things I've ever seen in any wrestling show or anything ever, which I couldn't believe was an actual thing that was done to another human being.
Okay.
When I said earlier, there are certain things on this show, even though it feels like a short time ago, you definitely wouldn't do now.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
And a metallic casting of Stacy Keibler's arse, essentially, and her legs.
Mm-hmm.
Her legs just happen to be there.
That is then put on display for people to, and I'm going to politely say, interact with.
That is a very polite way of saying what I was thinking there.
It's kind of...
invasive is the word I use. So incredibly invasive. I cannot believe that would even... You can see when she's talking about it, she's like really not sure about it. You can just look at her face.
She's like, oh, they took a casting of my legs and butt and they put it over there. And
people are now touching it.
How many fellas do you think were removed from the building for shagging it?
That thing must have been absolutely honking by the end of the weekend. I can't even imagine what it was.
Can you imagine that?
Just the amount of sweaty palms touching it for the entire weekend. I mean, I can't even begin to think of that. It's horrible.
Without wishing lads to get a bit too Eurotrash about it, there's no way that you can cast that section doing casts of other things. And I mean, it's no.
The whole is just wrong on a fundamental level.
Yeah. And I mean, you would absolutely no way do that. Now, can you imagine that now? It's like kind of going, oh yeah, we took a plaster cast of Liv Morgan's arse. And, just do what you want with it, lads.
There you go.
I mean, the horny side of Twitter would be all over that with actually all over that's probably a bad choice of word.
Exactly.
The only thing you could do these days is if you did like a life-size cast of like Rhea Ripley, you could lie in her arms.
Yeah.
Okay, Phil, that's clearly come from the reasons of your mind there. It's interesting.
Would that be okay to do? I don't think it would be either, but I don't know. It's just, the fact that he had a statue of the person of that is just like, horrible.
There'll be more Stacey Keeblerisms.
Oh, there will be.
Also, poor Booker T has to wait until Shut Your Mouth to be in a game. Just wait a year.
That is true. That is true.
He complaining about the fact that they seem to have got him to play the video game in a game he's not actually in.
Yep.
Which is fair enough.
He could play WCW Revenges in that.
That's true, he could.
I don't think they'll be playing that at WrestleMania though. Well.
Oh, in fact, you know what? What am I kidding? What's he playing that for? He could be playing Backstage Assault.
Oh God!
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah. I remember
that. Enemy. That game is awful.
First thing I've written about this next match is, oh, good, the band is back.
Oh, geez. Well, yes, I guess.
They play in, I believe, the Dudleys. Is that right? Is it the Dudleys they play in?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Dudleys that they play in, and it's the Four Corners Tag Team title match. It's the Dudleys versus the Hardys versus Billy and Chuck versus the APA. And I have got a note on here. My first note is that singer needs to be really fucking careful where he's putting his hands.
Yeah.
Because Stacy Keibler does come down with the Dudleys. She is wearing camo hot pants.
A smile.
And bless her.
Smile.
She did a little bit of, dancing from her WCW days. And this singer is,
enjoying himself?
Getting a bit close.
A bit handsy.
A bit handsy. And it's like,
no.
Is this not the period of time where Stacey Keibler's gone up with George Clooney, by the way?
Yeah, I read that. I was like, did she? Wow, okay.
Yeah, because for a while they were going out with each other, and all the Hollywood papers were making a big thing about how the fact that George Clooney had found some female wrestler. You know what I mean? And it was just like crazy. But anyway, by the by.
Yep.
Is she on Cameo?
Oh, Jesus.
Moving on. She's not on there, but her butt statue is on there.
I say she wouldn't be cheap if she was on there.
No,
I'm not even going to take that thought any further. This match was really not that exciting.
I think what does not this match is the last two WrestleManias you've had like two of the greatest tag team matches of all time.
Yes.
And then you have this. And God bless them. God bless them.
They
try. But it's just not up to that thing at all.
No.
There's two good bits in it I quite like where I think it's with Bubba Ray's in the ring and he's with Jeff Hardy and he just says, "Time to die, Jeff Hardy." I don't know why he says his full name, but it just made me laugh a great deal. And he does it to Matt Hardy later as well. He says, "Time to die, Matt Hardy." I just like the fact he says their entire full name because why would you not say their entire full name when you're about to kill them?
I mean, I don't know.
But yeah, it's just a little bit. It just cannot stand up to what's been done previously, and it kind of suffers a great deal for that.
I've written down here sexual assault sexual assault Jeff Hardy, and I couldn't remember what it was about, and now I've just remembered what it was about. It's when Jeff forcefully kisses Stacey.
Yes, that.
Give her a big slap on the cheek as well, the lower cheek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's again, you wouldn't do that now, not a chance.
And that's why I guess why Bubba told him it was time to die because he had to die for his crimes.
Well, yeah, but then you've got he was smashing glasses through tables, so
I'm so glad you said through tables. Anyway,
it's just a match that happens really with the tag teams. Like nothing really kind of
it's very filler-esque, isn't it? I think.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
Definitely.
One thing I queried, how far are we off again? I thought I could look it up. I thought I'd say for the podcast. How long are we to the JBL change? Like a year or so? Because it's
2004.
2004.
Yeah.
2004, because I witnessed one of his last matches at a house show as the acolyte gimmick.
Yeah.
They would do a thing where Cena would come to the ring, Paul Heyman would come and challenge him, then Bradshaw would come out looking like he's going to smack Heyman, but instead turns heel and smacks Cena. So you would have Cena against acolyte Bradshaw, essentially, because Farouk was long gone at this point. And I think it's a thing that Bradshaw was pretty much on his marching orders until somebody came up with this idea of turning him into the Wall Street kind of character.
That's probably like one of the kind of, I would say, one of the great gimmick changes to go from pretty much like a mid-card dude to being like the top heel of the company for a fair old while.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like shaving your mustache and cutting your hair.
Yep.
Weird, complete turnarounds and gimmick change. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anyways, the match ends with is it Hardy's versus Billy and Chuck Jeff gets waffled with a belt and gets pinned.
Yeah.
So Billy and Chuck
and then
retain.
gets pinned, and then they won it. It's fine. There you go.
I mean, that gimmick in itself wouldn't pass today. Well, essentially a fake homosexual couple is what they are, and it's yes. Go as far as a pretend wedding. But the draw the line at that's gone too far when they pretend to get married. When they just admit the whole thing of being gay is just to further the career, isn't it?
They were getting a lot of positive press at the time, weren't they, for portraying like a positive gay relationship, and then like they just completely back out on it.
Vince probably read that and realised what they were doing. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Vince didn't realise until he read it in the paper, and then he's like, oh no!
These days you get like Anthony Bowen in AEW, who, you know, had that old promo with Paige Van Zandt. Was it Paige Van Zandt?
Yes.
Where she was like kind of sort of saying how obviously you're interested in me, and the entire crowd, in a positive way, were chanting he's gay.
Oh, that was an amazing segment. That was amazing.
That was fucking incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so it was just like hilarious.
Imagine that a few years ago, that was never would happen. It'd be,
the whole tone would be
never would happen.
No, it'd be different.
So slight progress has been made, but
we're backstage with Hall and Nash, and Hogan wants him to stay because he's now got, you know, honor when it comes to wrestling.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And then we get to one of my other my favorite parts of the whole pay-per-views, where you see Molly Holly, after winning a belt previously, going down a corridor and gets a door absolutely slammed in her face by none other than Christian.
Oh yeah,
absolutely smashes her face in with the door. Big pop from the crowd, and he pins her to win the belt.
And then buggers off.
Yeah,
to the dark recesses somewhere in the Skydome.
It's just fantastic the way because she sounds like she's been killed by a door. It's brilliant, and
she sounds like a gunshot.
Yeah, just that dirty bastard heel Christian wins the belt, and off he goes.
Yeah. Now
next match, I think we may as well skip because I don't think there's anything worth talking about in it. I don't think.
Nah, it's pretty inconsequential, really, in the whole show. Really, it means nothing.
Yeah, are you fine with that, Alan?
Obviously, yes.
Yes, I think I'm stunned to death with my comment. We'll skip the next match, Al. Nothing worth talking about, do you think?
I think we need to go into great detail about the next match.
I was scared about that.
It is probably one of the greatest matches ever in the history of WWF.
So this is the Jazz versus Lita versus Trish for the women's title. Oh, no, sorry, that's the wrong match. Sorry.
That's exactly the one I thought you meant.
Sorry, sorry. This would be Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock.
Icon versus icon.
Yes.
Now, even the hype video at the start of it is amazing.
Oh, it's good. Yes.
And seeing as you are back in the WWF, you talked about headlining, main eventing, WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania. Well, Hulk Hogan, The Rock says, how do you feel about headlining one more WrestleMania with The Rock?
Now, I mentioned it on my promo thing, and I'll mention it again. I love that promo The Rock did when he went, you go on about headlining WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania. Why don't you headline one more against The Rock? I mean, if only they kept the word and actually put it on last, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But this is the headline. This is the main event. This is what
everyone's here.
Totally. The noise when Hogan comes out is even he's taken aback, isn't he, by the crowd when he comes out?
Yeah.
Oh, it is insane. Because I mean, the part of the thing was the NWO is this big heel group. That's what they want. So they had Hogan, quite frankly, doing ridiculous stuff in Raws leading up to this. So The Rock, it was the match was signed. It's one of them matches that don't need a stupid storyline or anything. It's just two of the best.
Oh, no.
Yeah, going in. But no, WWE have to try and be stupid. And I don't know if you remember it, but there's a Raw where Hogan hits Rock with a hammer.
Oh.
And then, when he's in an ambulance, Hogan runs an NWO truck into the ambulance.
You see that in the promo video, don't you? They're running the truck there.
It's so stupid. The crowd don't buy it. Nobody buys it. It's like, you know what? Hogan might have tried to murder The Rock twice, but we're cheering for Hogan. We don't care that he's a killer. That's pretty much it. Hogan's not been a heel in this match yet. No matter what they do, he's not the heel.
As a side note, leading up to this match, by the way, at the minute, Lee from the Polish box and I have a deal that I am recommending wrestling matches for him to watch and giving him the links.
Okay.
And WWE pre-WrestleMania put this up on the YouTube page for free.
Oh
wow.
So I gave him the link to this, and I told him, I said, the crowd are cheering Hogan after he tried to kill The Rock, and Lee was like, "The fuck." And so I had to find the clip of the ambulance being smashed to show him. And I go, this is the level of popularity Hogan has. They will cheer him after attempted murder.
They will cheer a felon, basically.
And that's the moment Lee messaged me back saying, this wrestling's a bit bonkers, isn't it? I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's probably the most accurate description I can come up with.
One funny thing I wrote down as well, because at the start of the match, they keep talking about The Rock as being like the future of the industry. Like, The Rock's going to be the future. Isn't he gone by like the summer?
Yes.
2003. Yeah, he's buggered off to do the Scorpion King the year afterwards.
Great, yeah. Cheers, thanks, guys. He's definitely going to be the future.
He's not at WrestleMania 19, is he? Is he?
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
He's back for 20, obviously.
I think he comes back.
Isn't he?
He comes back for the whole Hogan Rock 2 at No Way Out.
But it just made me laugh. They're kind of going, oh, yeah, he's the future of the industry. It's like, he's been the future for the last 3 years, surely. Like, he's the present now. He's not the future. But anyways.
Well, yeah, you'd think.
Yeah.
Well,
the crowd, like, I think that's just going to be the whole thing for the match. Is just like, the noise of the crowd is just, like, insane.
I'm talking utter garbage. He wrestled Austin at 19.
Oh, yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Well remembered. Well remembered that classic match. Yeah.
No, don't worry, I'll cut that out. Don't worry about it.
Good lad.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
But let's just start again. Yeah, you remember that 19 because he faces the Rock at 19.
He does,
he does. Yeah, it's
Austin Rock, isn't it? Yeah, Austin Rock. Yeah. And then he leaves for a bit. Yeah.
It's almost hysterical the way Hogan just starts doing like really heelish things, and the crowd is still like he does like 3 back scrapes, and the crowd cheer each one, and he starts starts cheering.
I remember watching this match live, and I was, oh my God, it was like in some sort of heaven. Because I didn't watch Hogan wrestle too much in WCW. So I was like, is he still going to do all the Hogan things? You know, does he still wrestle that same style? Of course.
He still does all this cheating, even though he's the face.
Stupid question, of course he does.
Fighting and eye pokes and all sorts.
It's the crowd and the way they boo The Rock is just hilarious. It's just like, yeah, Hogan's not the heel. There's no way he's the heel. He's back in Skydome where he lost to Warrior, and here he is again in a match where they're just doing lockups and shoves, and it's just getting like the most insane reactions.
Even like the abdominal stretch, you know, the most vicious submission move of all time, that gets a huge pop when Hogan slaps it on him. It's just like, he can do, no matter what he does, like when he scratches his ass, he gets a massive pop. It's insane.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the flash bulbs when they go, there's a very, the famous image where they go nose to nose before the bell rings. It's on loads of packages, and like the flash bulbs all going off around. People know that was a history maker match. You know that you don't get to see. I was going to say you don't get to see that too often. Of course, they did a rematch the following year, but under them circumstances, it was different. It was the first time. It was just at WrestleMania. It was amazing. And I was just on the edge of my seat during the match. I just remember it so well, and that's one of the matches I've watched so many times since. Because I believe it's up there with possibly my favourite match. It's between that and Hogan Warrior of what my favourite match is. But
wow,
it is. It's the reactions is insane with it.
Yeah, like when Rock hits him with the Hulk bottom, and of course he hulks out of it. Of course he does. The way the crowd come up for that.
I was sitting there thinking, you know what? If he still does a Hulk up routine, it'll be immense. And yeah, he did. He kicked out. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Because he whips him with a belt for a bit, and again, the crowd cheer that.
I did wonder if that's where The Rock got it for later for his matches with Cody. Kind of going back to the Hogan belt.
And then you get the Hulk up, and then of course you get the leg drop. But this time Rock kicks out. Rock kicks out with the famous Hulk Hogan leg drop.
Yeah, then dodges the second one. Then was it like 3 rock bottoms and a people elbow?
I think it's just two in the people elbow.
Yeah.
And now this is what I love. Like I think that it comes down to the whole ego thing. WCW's not beating WWE, even though Hogan was a WWE guy at one point. He's NWO Hogan, nobody's losing. But he really won that match. You know what I mean? Even though he lost, the reaction, what happened the next night on Raw, he was. They say Hulkamania will live forever, and nobody forgot it. It's not just some stupid, some cheesy little gimmick that went on in the 80s. Fans remembered it, fans wanted it back, and fans loved that match.
Totally, yeah. That's like when we kind of get to the end. I assume that they always planned for Hall and Nash to come out to do their bits at the end.
I think possibly, because I know they said Rock wasn't expecting the reaction and they had to do a few things on the fly, thinking Hogan would be booed.
Yeah.
But during the promo earlier on, when Hogan's shown, he gets a massive pop, and I think they must have suspected then that was going to be the finish, is to do the run in for the NWO, and then Hogan shakes. Hogan shakes Rock's hand at the end, and the NWO come in saying, "What you shaking that guy's arm for? And he's the bad guy," sort of thing. And then they beat up Hogan, and again, the fans suddenly want Rock back. Then to turn him. It's a clever move to kind of turn him face again.
They're all happy back then. They're all cheering him at that point.
Yeah, they want the Rock to come and save the hero, and the Rock does. Yeah. And then I remember watching this again when Hall and Nash leave, and Rock's in the ring, and I'm like, here we go. He's just going to rock bottom him, because he's got that look on his face at a point where you think he's going to hit the rock bottom on him, and then he doesn't. He's like, no, we want to hear you do your shtick. We want the poses and everything like that. And the only thing I wished they played Real American.
Real American, yeah. That's like one big note at the end. Like, why do they keep playing the Hot Rock's theme when
just hit Real American? Yeah, that would have been fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like at the end, it's like when he's doing the post-ups, like Real American should be playing right now. I don't care. Just put Real American on. That's the two things. Real American should have played, and this really should have been the last match, shouldn't it?
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Like I said, it's probably one of the best matches in WrestleMania history, and it doesn't go on last. It's like, it's not best wrestling, but for sport, it's the best sports entertainment match. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
This is like pure WrestleMania. Yeah. This is like as WrestleMania as match as you can possibly WrestleMania. It's just got that kind of the big feel. It's got the crowd going nuts. It's just like, you wouldn't see this on a TV show or on like another pay-per-view. It's like it's a WrestleMania.
What other match has them crowd reactions? What match can you think of? There probably maybe is some, but what match can you think of in WWE with a similar reactions to that?
He is poised, he is coiled. Wow! There's a rock bottom. A rock bottom on Hogan. The hook of the leg. Is this Hogan kicked out? My God, Hogan kicked out. Look at this. A rock bottom. And I don't think with the rock. Wait a minute. Is he going to hook up there? He is. Oh, cannot believe it. Oh my God. What you going to do, Rock? My God, the Rock can't believe it.
Cody versus AJ 2 weeks ago.
Well, that was good. That was definitely good.
Yep. France, yeah, that was nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah, apart from that, yeah.
But I don't think AJ Styles was getting much reaction from the crowd as much as these guys. Cody might be, but was that the French one?
Yeah, the one in France, yeah.
One, yeah, where the camera's bouncing up and down because the crowd are bouncing as well.
See, we're going to try to do a different thing, a similar thing in Glasgow. The only problem is you're going to have somebody stealing the camera, let alone not shaking.
Probably, yeah. It's shaking because it's being run down Finiston Key.
That'd be why.
Because I know like Daniel Bryan had big reactions and stuff like that, but it's like Rock's getting the negative reaction he's supposed to get, and Hogan's getting massively popular. I think that's why my other favourite match is Warrior Hogan, because in that one the fans just cheer both guys, as equal. And I think that makes for a special wrestling match where both people are getting big reactions. It's not just booing a guy because he's beating up your hero sort of thing. It's just so special that match.
But it's like it's crazy that like they tried to follow this by cutting to the WWE place in New York with Big Show.
Oh well,
working the crowd.
Since we're mentioning Cody Rhodes, does anyone want to bring up this point?
Go on.
There was a famous, I don't remember what's WrestleMania, someone can Google it. It was where Cody Rhodes had a program with Big Show.
Really?
Okay.
And Cody, God, no one remembers this. It was excellent. Cody Rhodes.
Wait a minute. Sorry, is that the one with Big Show nicks off with his dad?
No, that's a different feud.
Okay.
Disappointing.
In the build-up for it, Cody Rhodes keeps cutting promos of Big Show's WrestleMania moments, and it's got him like jobbing out to WrestleMania 16. It's got Kane choke slamming him at 17, and Big Show pulling this stupid expression on his face. It's got him losing to Aki Bundo in that sumo match, and it's got him losing to the handicap match with the Undertaker, and then it's got him just a W in New York going, way, and Cody Rhodes is just going, way, like imitating him. Nobody remember. Oh, somebody's got to look this up.
They say there's no greater wake-up call than embarrassment. Wake-up call, Big Show. Now, I don't have a clip of you losing yet another match at another WrestleMania because this time you weren't even there. Instead, I've got you in your natural habitat. I've got you doing what you do best. WrestleMania 18. Eating at the WWE restaurant in New York.
What? What?
Yes, we're on to the second greatest WWE WrestleMania match of all time, which is a triple threat for the tag team. The women's title: Jazz versus Lita versus Trish Stratus.
It's 6 minutes long. Everyone's going for a piss after that. There you go.
Yeah. Imagine being told if you're Jazz or Lita or Trish. Imagine being told you have to follow that.
I would just go out to the ring, get my tits out, get the applause, and leave.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, even if they did just do, I mean, at the time, a stupid bra and panties match or whatever, I think that would have got zero reaction. I think at that point, nobody cared.
Yeah,
nobody cared what was going
on.
At that point. Bring out Stacey Keibler's ass statue. Nobody cares, you know?
Trish literally comes out wearing the Canadian flag to no response.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's just like everything's gone.
The great irony is this is actually like a pretty good women's match for the time.
That's a lot of qualifiers.
What you would normally do.
It only gets 6 minutes.
But like, it's pretty good. Like, it's not, it's nothing like, the rest of they would be allowed to do later in, like a decade's time. But considering what the bar is for women's wrestling at WWF at the time, like, this is really good. And it's like, the fact that there's like no response to it is almost heartbreaking.
I mean, Trish and Lita are good, and Jazz was one of the more solid female wrestlers in ECW. So yeah, it was a good combination of people. But like you say, it was put in the death spot, and this did die a death. But as far as the match itself goes, it's a good match.
I better go up and check on her. And no arm suplex by Jazz. Oh, what's her hole, man? Trish has got him. Trish. Oh. And Lita taking down Jazz. Come on, Lita. Right in Lita in that mount position, King. That what position? Mount her. And with the right hand.
Like I say, like compared to what we've seen previously, like in other pay-per-views of what the women's matches have been like, it's like it's not night and day, but like it's certainly pointing in the right direction. But yeah, to just literal silence in places. It's like a massive arena dome, and it's just like you can hear a pin drop or someone eating their popcorn in the third row. It's terrifying. It's a shame, but why was this following Hogan and The Rock?
Because something had to.
Oh,
no, that's right.
Christian losing this belt almost could follow it. To be honest, that was quite good.
After Christian's conniving and deviousness with Molly Holly and all the rest, Maven creeps up behind before he gets in his taxi, rolls him up. And Maven is the champion like the night started. So none of them matter.
Yeah, and it also steals Christine taxi, and off he goes.
Yeah, I forgot that. You're right. Yeah, she steals his taxi, which is quite funny.
His title and his belt and his taxi. Bang, he's gone.
Very good. So We have made it to the main event of this show for the WWF Undisputed title. Chris Jericho defending against Triple H.
Does anybody care? Because the crowd certainly don't.
In a match nobody wants to see in the crowd, the result is so obvious. You know what I mean? It's a full-gone conclusion. But Triple H's been Triple H. Of course, the match has got to go long, hasn't it? No, we can't just have a quick match. No, we want a long contest to draw up this full-gone conclusion.
Jericho as champion is like the third most important person in this match.
Absolutely, yeah.
I agree.
Because it's like a lot of the attention goes on Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. I saw one of the interviews with Jericho about this match because he said like he never watched us back. He was really disappointed in it because where it was in the card and everything. And he said like when he saw like the graphic for the match, they had like Steph in front of him, so it looked like it was Triple H versus Stephanie.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Can we change that because like I'm the champion? I should be like it should be me and Triple H."
Nope.
Yeah.
Nah. We get a lot of going after Triple H's surgically repaired quad and going about. It's a typical kind of main WWF main event where like we go outside, we get through the Spanish announcers table, we get chair shots. Do we get chair shots?
I think we do. Yeah.
Chair shot.
We do.
Yeah.
I know we get Steph put through the table. Is that right? Is that the match?
Think so. Does Steph go through? I think Stephanie goes through something.
Steph goes through the announce table, but I don't know if it's this one or if it's a further one. I think it's not this one where he pedigrees her through the announce table.
No, pedigrees through the ring in this one.
Yeah, pedigrees in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not the announce, right? I seem to think of that. Maybe I'm wrong. I know there's a pedigree somewhere.
Yeah, he pedigrees in the ring. Jericho absolutely waffles him in the head with a chair. But
which Earl Hebner has to pretend not to hear, even though he's 2 foot away.
Even because the crowd is requiring the thing echoes through the arena.
Well, the crowd's so silent, he probably could hear it.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely hear it because
it's just like I get you kind of want to put your title on last because it's your title. You want that to be the biggest thing on the card, but like it's so clearly not the biggest thing happening in this pay per view.
Nope, not at all.
The fact that they tried to force it.
Apparently, they said they went to Vince and says we got to go on last.
Was that just Jericho or was it Triple H as well?
I bet both.
I would have put money on Triple H being like, no, actually, no, I need to stay.
We're kind of like, it would be Triple H, surely, because we're kind of like well before the period of time where Jericho's morphed into absolute fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
That he is now, quite full of him fucking self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for a second, does Alan know he's muted himself?
I don't know.
I think I can unmute him. No, I can't.
Do we want to though?
That's a very good point.
Do we really want to? Yes. Yeah, so we thinking it was Vince was the
Hang
one
on,
who was
can you hear me yet?
You're back.
Yes, you muted yourself.
Right. What I was saying, you probably didn't get my point, but what was I saying?
No, because you muted yourself.
So they wanted to go on. They didn't want to go on last, and Vince McMahon said the title one that had to go on last. But you just asked Lawrence Taylor if it matters if the title goes on last. Didn't matter that WrestleMania, did it?
Didn't matter that WrestleMania.
Nope.
I mean, it probably is rare that the title doesn't go last. Like I'm thinking, one of the Rock Cena ones that would have been non-title.
Hogan Sid went over the title as well at WrestleMania 8.
Yeah. Then that was Hogan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Reigns Taker in modern times. Michael's Taker.
Michael's Taker didn't have a title.
So it's not often, but you can kind of feel like when the story's right, they need it.
It's different with night 1 and 2 now. I suppose that is slightly different because there is some other matches that went on last on night 1 that weren't things, that sort of thing.
Yeah. But like in the before times, like it was. There's probably more WrestleManias with the title last than not. But when you've got a match like Hogan Rock, how you don't put that on last, I just don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania history, and yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
So,
and we end up with, surprise, surprise, Triple H wins. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? Triple H being champion. Good
What
Lord.
a shock! Yeah, he doesn't suit the all-conquering babyface, does he?
Oh, because he's a cunt. That's why.
Always comes across to me as really fucking weird when he was that period of time, like just because he came back from injury and it was like he was portrayed as this kind of like all-conquering hero.
Well, it was like you see like the pop when he comes back. It was like, oh, good. Like he is like
It's just people forgot how much of an overriding douche he was.
Yeah, they remember pretty quick, didn't they? After that, I guess.
Yep.
As we've established, what is he doing in 2003? He's fucking buddying Scott Steiner mostly, is he not?
Yeah.
And everybody, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Kane.
The start of the Reign of Terror. Yep. So he's not long ago till he's.
I had to look up that
again.
Triple H thing because I do remember the announce table, but no, I think it was in the build up to this. He had her on the announce table for a pedigree.
Nice.
But I think Jericho made the save. I just remember because it's a famous thing that I think from certain camera angles, Steph fell out of a top during the spot. But I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember when it was.
That's why I remember it. There we go.
Well, no, not because of that. I just, to be fair, I hated that Jericho Triple H match so much. I think I've only seen it the once. It just seems such a pointless main event. I just didn't want to go back. And in the build-up as well, was there something about a dog getting ran over?
I don't know.
Did I make that up as well? Right, I'm going to Google that as well. Talk amongst yourselves.
So now we've got to the end of the thing. We've watched the show. We now have to figure out where does it go on the great table of pay-per-views.
Well, I've just looked at the table and we have got 5 WrestleManias currently in the table. Obviously, number 1, as we know, is WrestleMania 8. Number 5 is WrestleMania 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good as that.
Number 6 is WrestleMania 7.
Oh, it might.
And then we jump all the way down to WrestleMania 4 and 5, taking 28 and 35.
I think the question is the Hogan Rock match like a kind of black hole of like, such a gravity-defying thing? Does it make the top 10?
The problem he got is I think this is the definition of a one-match show.
I agree with you, Al.
However, the one match is a really, really strong match.
It's a really good one match, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's. I'm not going to argue for a minute. It is a hell of a strong match, but the entire 4-hour show is all tied up in that 16-minute match. If that match sucked, this would have been one of the worst WrestleManias probably of all.
I don't think it's that bad.
Well,
it's like it's just a very middling one.
I mean, Giant Gonzalez isn't on the card.
It's not 27.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like all the matches are like as a baseline, all the matches are good. You know what I mean? There isn't a stinker really on there apart from maybe the tag team match.
Yeah, but that's functional. It's not terrible. It's just not really that great.
And even the women's match is pretty good. For compared to what we get at the time.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
the wrong place.
Well,
so
here's the question now. If we're looking at the top 10, number 11 is Survivor Series 2002.
What's number 9?
Number 10 is ECW One Night Stand 2005.
And then number 9 is Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
That's one where you're talking crowd reactions. That's probably on a level with
I agree.
Hogan Rock.
I agree.
What's 12?
Number 12 is the 2000 Royal Rumble.
I have a soft spot for that show.
I do as well.
13?
13 is Beach Blast 1992.
Oh, I don't remember that one, so we'll put it above that.
He makes a cohesive argument.
I mean, he always does.
He always does.
Is Beach Blast 92 the Steamboat Rude Iron Man one?
I think so, yes.
It must be.
Yeah, which I
Okay.
liked, but that's only the one match that I can remember from it.
Well, again, that makes it as like a one-match pay-per-view. I think 13 is good. I think if you kind of
13
look
then,
at
yeah.
Canadian Stampede as like a similar pay-per-view where there's like one match with like a huge reaction. I think the story, because it's a much leaner pay-per-view, but the storylines in that match are a lot more coherent.
Yeah. Canadian Stampede only had 5 matches, whereas this WrestleMania's got, 9, 10?
9.
I probably could have dropped 2 matches and had like a better build for a couple of them. It would have probably improved the card a fair bit. But yeah, so I think the Rock Hogan match does drag it up the card, but I think it doesn't quite crack the top 10. So I think 13
There's actually 11 matches on this card. God, I forgot half of them already. I didn't realize there was that many. 11 matches here.
Well, there you go. So,
well, WrestleMania 8's got 10 matches on the card, and WrestleMania 7's got 14.
I just thought I'll fill in that Chris Jericho ran over Triple H's dog in the build-up to this match.
Of course he did.
Yep.
Because
there you go.
Because why not?
So 13th, is that right, gents?
Yep, that sounds
13th, I'd say, yeah.
WrestleMania 18 is 13.
Hooray.
Okay. And the next thing?
Next
Where
thing
we're going
is actually a round table.
We still haven't figured out what we're talking about.
I know.
After 10 years, yeah.
I mean, that goes without saying, yeah.
Hold on there.
Is this how we're kicking off the second decade of Conquistabores? Is that we're not sure what the fuck is going on?
Okay. Phil, this might work. This might work, but I want you to go back and see what the first roundtable episode was.
Oh, I was going to suggest another quiz, but I don't know if Phil's heart can take another existential crisis.
Jesus Christ, no. Nearly killed me like that the first time. I was going to suggest, the first round table was about the Intercontinental Championship, I think.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, what's our favourite thing in the last 10 years of wrestling?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that.
Okay.
Decade in review.
A show of positivity.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
There you go.
So best things in the last 10 years of wrestling. So since 2014.
Yeah.
Like a couple of three each, maybe, just so we can kind of, go around a little a couple of times.
That sounds good.
Oh, no. I don't know if I've got anything since 2014.
Al, you can do like the last 30 years if you want.
The last 10 years. Oh, my.
Can I speak to you boys about WrestleMania 9? Now, Hulk Hogan.
At which point Discord just self-destructs.
It's shut down to protect the rest of us.
Three things each. Oh.
Yeah. We'll come up with something.
Thinking noise going on there. That.
Thinking noises going on. But yeah, I can think of a couple of things I'm like, this was brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely got some.
Thought of a couple already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's next month.
Good things have happened in wrestling in the last 10 years.
It would be good. Should we keep them secret from each other so it's a surprise when we get to the thing?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, we should.
That's why I think it's a good point to have a couple extra just in case there's any kind of crossover.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Okay,
agree.
so have 5, but then pick 3 on the night.
Yep, probably take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
So if someone else steals your pick, you've got another one as backup then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
That's cool. Look at that. That's how content is done.
Exactly.
Actually, maybe we could better write that down on the list before I forget. Where are we? Round table.
Live podcast meets.
Yes.
Things. I don't know what music we'll go out to on this one. Because I think it's been like Gladiators, the theme.
Phil,
theme.
there is only one choice.
Hacksaw's theme.
Exactly.
Of course.
That should be it.
Oh.
Let's go.
All right, guys, congratulations on 10 years of the podcast. Thanks for being a wrestling fan. Thanks big time for being a Hacksaw fan. And this host for the Conquistabores. Ho! On another 10 years of the podcast. Go get them, tough guys.